Good evening, I'm Carol Kidu Jr. with the news. Here are the headlines. In this edition, government launches plan for next 50 years. Court sentences Yafai to 22 years hard labor. And Candes make 2026 Digital ExxonMobil Cup season. Prime Minister James Marape launched the Reset PNG at 50 document at the University of Papua New Guinea today. Reset PNG at 50 sets out the government's long-term framework for economic transformation, service delivery, governance, and nation building as Papua New Guinea marks 50 years of independence and looks ahead to the next 20 years.
Prime Minister James Marape officially launched the Reset PNG at 50 document today. The framework outlines the government's vision for economic transformation, improved service delivery, governance, and nation building in the next 20 years. The Reset PNG at 50 document aims to guide the country in addressing current challenges while seizing opportunities for sustainable development.
So the review had a cast over right back to 1975, snapshot of pre-75, and then coming up there, and to point to us what must be done, and especially so, I contributed to that conversation that it must try to amplify the next 20 years.
The Prime Minister emphasized the need for cohesive strategies that will foster economic growth, enhance public services, and strengthen democratic governance. He said in order for the country to grow, people must change within themselves first.
And so despite many of our challenges and our population increase, the Bougainville crisis, for instance, economic downturns, and many things that has happened in our country, thank God, by God's grace, our people have remained loyal to the flag, the constitution, the one nation, one country, one people notion that Samara's generation gifted in 1975. And so in this context, those of us today at elected office, we must, an appointed office, we must really have a reset in our mindset. First thing first,
Prior to the launch, Director for the National Research Institute, Dr. Osborne Sanida, stressed on the importance of transparency and accountability, which is of paramount importance if the country wants to see change in the next 50 years.
Weak institutions and political parties, executive instability, and contested decentralization have cumulatively undermined development in PNG over the years. Reforms designed to address these challenges, such as OLIPAC and the LPB, have yielded some results, but only partial. We need more improvements going forward.
The launch charts a renewed course and encourage collaboration among stakeholders to achieve the goal captured in the Reset PNG at 50 plan. Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
Chairman of the Reset PNG at 50 Steering Committee and former member for Alotau, Charles Abel, said the country must reflect on its historical lessons to amend its policies effectively. Abel advocated for a proactive approach to governance that prioritizes adaptability and reform, urging policymakers to embrace new strategies that can address the nation's challenges and harness its potential. By doing so, he believes PNG can create sustainable pathways toward growth and improvement in the lives of its citizens.
Big questions remain in terms of whether real development has been achieved. The review shows that development planning has become a political and bureaucratic culture in PNG. Unfortunately, the overall impact on national development has been limited due to weak implementation. The weak implementation is due to resourcing constraints, unclear objectives and targets, lack of ownership, lack of alignment, lack of public participation, lack of reliable data, and lack of monitoring and evaluation.
One of Papua New Guinea's founding fathers of the Constitution, Dr. John Momis, called on politicians to be transparent in decision-making. Speaking at the launch of Reset PNG at 50 today, Dr. Momis stressed that during decision-making, the welfare of the people must be priority.
Dr. John Momis, former president of the Autonomous Region of Bougainville, has urged members of parliament to exercise caution in decision-making processes. Speaking at the launch of the Reset PNG at 50 document at the University of Papua New Guinea, Dr. Momis called on the Prime Minister and MPs to prioritize the needs and welfare of the people in their policies. His appeal highlights the importance of accountable governance and the need for leaders to remain focused on the interest of their constituents, especially as the nation charts its path forward in the wake of its 50th anniversary of independence.
Good leaders, they will develop good systems, good structures, good policies. Now I'll go play something. I'll look at the good old man Mary. If you don't have good leaders, then we'll be running around in rings. You know what leader belongs steer you me. I think this edict applies today as well. We must have good leaders. Leadership on government, leadership on public service, leadership on academia, leadership on business, leadership on police.
Dr. Momis emphasized that meaningful progress can only be achieved when policymakers are genuinely committed to serving the public good and ensuring that development initiatives reflect the aspirations of Papua New Guineans.
A good Prime Minister is responsible for good policies, good laws, good programs of development, education, health, services, aimed by halibim all the man Mary long nation. Sabevan, man nothing no place, Mary nothing. Which one? Poor man. All the by leadership one plan man by halibim all good. Now it is our responsibility to support a good leader and to ensure supporting him doesn't mean when we talk yes, nothing. Support means you be got right to long talking Prime Minister or the leader belong you me something go the same. Constitution you talk all the same. You can be behind him or something nothing.
Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
Care and nurturing in multiple fronts are crucial for children and youth as their survival, education and protection remain a major concern today. UNICEF Regional Director for East Asia and Pacific, June Kunugi, was called to speak before the Special Parliamentary Committee on Children and Youth on renewed leadership and investment in their country's children to ensure no child is left behind in the next 50 years.
UNICEF Regional Director for East Asia and Pacific, June Kunugi, in a statement to the Special Parliamentary Committee on Children and Youth during its second-day inquiry, said many children still miss out on essential services from routine immunization to safe learning opportunities and protection from violence. She stressed UNICEF's response that Papua New Guinea's children and youth need strong, sustained government leadership, support and partnership to mitigate the threat looming in the future of children because many are still being left behind. Ms. Kunugi highlighted sobering data that instill the threats to the children in the next 10 years or so. Immunization remains low from 50 to 60%. Child malnutrition continues to affect both physical and mental development. Access to quality education remains unequal, with only 10 to 15% out of 80% of the students reaching tertiary level and violence and abuse becoming normalized. Ms. Kunugi, during the consultation with the recently established Special Parliamentary Committee on Youth and Children, stated that to avoid such threat in the future, there must be a key collaboration between stakeholders to uphold children's and youth's well-being in the future. During the inquiry, the Special Parliamentary Committee examined the entire development of a child and children in PNG. Health, education and protection for children have been put to the top of the priority list for the National Office of Child and Family Service in 2026. Michael Tamtipais, TVWAN News.
The Mabiri Juvenile Rehabilitation Center in Bougainville will now be fully functional following the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding between the Department of Justice and Attorney General, the Autonomous Bougainville Government, and the Catholic Diocese of Bougainville yesterday in Port Moresby.
The signing of the Memorandum of Understanding marks a continuous partnership and mutual commitment for the effective operation and management of the Mabiri Juvenile Rehabilitation Center in Bougainville. Secretary for the Department of Justice and Attorney General Dr. Eric Wa, Juvenile Justice Services Director Colin Sakap, and Leontine Iveno of the Bougainville Government's Department of Justice and Legal Services signed the MOU yesterday in Port Moresby. Under the MOU, DJAC will provide statutory oversight, policy direction, technical advice, and ensure compliance with national juvenile justice standards. ABG, through the Department of Justice and Legal Services, will lead local implementation, strengthen inter-agency coordination, ensure staff recruitment and training, and maintain the institution's infrastructure and operations. And the Catholic Diocese of Bougainville will continue its vital support through land stewardship, pastoral care, and facility management. Dr. Eric said the MOU draws its strength from the guiding principles of the Juvenile Justice Act 2024, the Juvenile Rehabilitation and Reintegration Policy 2021 to 2031, and the Bougainville Peace Agreement 2001, ensuring that young offenders are given the chance to reform, rebuild, and reintegrate into the society as responsible and productive citizens.
This is an order. Okay, this child will now be, not child, but the juvenile will now be taken to this place. So it's Mr. Sakap's team that goes and then uplifts the juvenile, and then they take them to a particular center. So we pay for those transportation and movement of the juveniles. In the facility, they need to eat. They need to have soap, toothbrush, all these things they must have. So we, at the Department of Justice, we provide the funding. So we provide the funding to, say, in this case, the Catholic Diocese of Bougainville, we give funding to them, and they own the facility and they manage.
Juvenile Justice Services Director Colin Sakap said this MOU covers a specific area for provincial arrangement where a juvenile from another province in the region can be sentenced to rehabilitate in Mabiri.
A specific area of consideration as well under the MOU that we could also extend to other provincial arrangements, New Guinea Islands. So a juvenile from Eastern Britain, Western Britain can also be sentenced to Mabiri.
While Secretary Iveno said the signing of the MOU represents a brighter future to the people of Bougainville and PNG as a whole, where young people will grow and thrive in a safe and nurturing environment after being sentenced by the court.
You will strengthen our collaboration and coordination in the operation and management of the center, ensuring that our young people receive the care, guidance, and support they need to reform and reintegrate into society.
Tracy Pa, TVWAN News.
Yafai gets 22 years hard labor. That story and more when we come back.
For too long, banking has felt out of reach for many. But now, BSP's One-Took Wallet is here to change that. Send and receive money, pay bills, and top up. It's your money, wherever, whenever. Because at BSP, we are committed to improving how our customers connect to our One-Talks, to our family, to the ones we love. BSP's One-Took Wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# for everyone.
Magic Golden Ticket Promotion come back. Now by finish long 30th November 2025. Tiny Magic Golden Ticket long you, long winning share long 500,000 kina inside long packet magic chicken or beef noodles. All prizes start 50,000 kina, 20,000 kina, 1,000 kina, na 500 kina. Open packet long magic noodles na Tiny Golden Ticket long come up winner. No can wait. Buy magic noodles now.
The Toyota JD Hiace bus comes in 14 and 15-seater high-roof luxury model powered by 2.8 liters JD engine for optimal performance output, fuel efficiency and quietness, designed with improved safety features and easy maneuverability for tire steering angle. The Hiace lift suspension and annular frame structure is opted for smooth ride, comfort and safety. Experience the ride on the Hiace bus and experience the Hiace pride, the bus that exceeds all expectations.
Tell him shorty come get it. Come grind on me, but me did it. Mommy get loose, get loose, get loose. Pepsi in my hand, ice cold, no excuse. I tell him who's gonna bring that roof down. Pepsi with the fresh sound. Tell him who's gonna bring that roof down. Pepsi with that fresh sound. Pepsi, give me some Pepsi, Pepsi, you like it? You like it? Pepsi bottle.
For Simon, life is simple. Dreams seem distant, yet hope remains. One ticket, one dream. Simon's world changed forever. Yes! From small dreams to big possibilities. One Top Jackpot is here for everyone. Win big every day.
Cold Power Citrus Blast uses stain-fighting active particles to remove dirt, grease and stains from your family's washing with less scrubbing and rubbing, reducing wear and tear and saving you time. Cold Power Citrus Blast has an amazing citrus fragrance that gives that extra freshness that will last all day long.
Thurman is after another world title.
I was raised for this.
But world champ Sebastian Fedora is towering above the competition.
Fedora, top of the world as the unified champion.
When they collide, can Thurman win a major world title one more time? Or will the towering Inferno stand tall?
We're about to see a whole nother level of boxing.
Fedora versus Thurman for the super welterweight world title. Live October 26th on Fight Sports.
Welcome back. Former Deputy Finance Secretary Jacob Yafai has been sentenced to 22 years hard labor for misappropriating 41.8 million kina belonging to the state. Chief Justice Sir Gibbs Salika handed down the decision today, Thursday, October 23, 2025, at the National Court in Port Moresby.
Jacob Yafai will serve 22 years in hard labor at the Bomana Corrections Facility in Port Moresby. He, who hails from Karapia village in Yanguru South East Sepik Province, is Paul Paraka's co-accused. Convicted for officially corruption, abuse of office, conspiracy to defraud and misappropriation of 4 checks totaling 41.8 million kina paid to Paraka lawyers between 2012 and 2013. Chief Justice Sir Gibbs Salika found Yafai guilty because the former Deputy Secretary for Finance did not verify the payments before making the payment. Sir Gibbs said before processing the checks for payment, Yafai was specifically instructed to verify and confirm the claims from Paraka lawyers, and if and when verified. If he had done so, he would have found that the state did not owe Paraka anything, as the bills had all been paid by the state for the work it did for the state. The Chief Justice said the 41.8 million kina could have been used to provide essential government services to those who needed it the most, and not the law firm. Considering all circumstances of the case and Yafai part in the case, Sir Gibbs sentenced Yafai to 20 years imprisonment with hard labor each for the first, second, third and fourth count. A fifth count warranting 2 years imprisonment with hard labor was also added to the sentence, which he will be serving cumulatively at the Bomana prison. The Chief Justice also ordered that Yafai's 40,000 kina bail be refunded. Tracy Pa, TV1 News.
More than 35,000 residents across remote New Ireland province now have access to clean, reliable power following the successful completion of the Power Belong New Ireland project. The initiative, backed by Australia and the United Kingdom, installed solar power systems in 74 of the district's remotest villages. The newly installed solar systems are supplying vital energy to over 9,000 households, 76 community facilities, and powering 151 streetlights lighting homes. Australian High Commission Minister Councillor Dr. Kate Rogers commended the collaborative approach, stating that the project owes its success to the communities as their support and participation were vital. A wave of excitement swept through Gordon International School today as TVWAN News caught up with the GFAM dance crew, who recently returned from Brisbane after taking out first place in the junior division at the House of Champions 2025 dance competition. The team returned a few days ago to a warm welcome from classmates, families, and teachers, and today they reflected on their winning experience. From the classroom to the international stage, Gordon International School's GFAM dance crew has brought home first place in the junior division at the House of Champions 2025 competition in Brisbane, Australia. Their incredible win has placed PNG in the international spotlight for dance excellence. Dance coach Theodore Tualila said the judging panel consisted of 7 judges who scored performances based on choreography, performance value, technique, and skill. Aside from coaching, Tualila also competed in the Open Adult Division as part of the village with one squad proudly representing PNG on the same international stage. Tualila confirmed that the team is already preparing to return in 2026 to defend their title against 7 other schools.
For myself, I felt intimidated by the other schools, but my students never let me down. I danced with one squad in the village. Our team is the village. We represented our country. Out there, my experience was, it was my first time taking the international stage again. So it's just unbelievable. We went on that stage and we delivered a showstopper. Oh, we are going back to defend the title for real. Yes. So Gordon International is definitely going back for 2026 to defend our title against other 7 schools. So we're looking forward to that one next year.
He added that the PNG community in Brisbane, along with parents who flew over, gave strong support which lifted the team's confidence.
I was really surprised and didn't really think that we're gonna come first because we were just trying because we were new there as well. And the part where we won, I actually cried because it was my first time as well.
I feel so good over there because it was my first time to go with our whole team to Brisbane and just perform there. I'm sure our time to them and everyone, yeah, we're ready to go claim that throne again.
It makes me really proud that we've got very talented people, especially their teacher. The dance teacher has been contacting House of Champions since he started here. And I don't know how he got qualified, but I think what he did was the best. So, the school went all the way. We would have taken a bigger group, but this group, this champ here, was the best group that went down.
With their historic win, the GFAM dance crew has proven that passion and perseverance can take Papua New Guinean talent to the world stage, one dance step at a time. And now let's take a look at the finance news. The Kina closed lower at $0.2378 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our Kina was buying $0.2303 US, $0.3523 Australian dollars, $0.1903 euro, and 34.68 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, coffee, cocoa, crude oil, and copper closed higher, and while the rest closed the day lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, and the ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. This is TV1 News. A look at what's making news in the region when we come back.
banking doesn't have to be complicated. With PSP's One Talk Wallet, control your money wherever, whenever. Dial *131#, enter your PIN, select cash in or out, and generate a secure code to withdraw cash. It's the only wallet for cardless ATM withdrawals. Send and receive funds, pay for goods and bills, or withdraw cash with ease. All with PSP's One Talk Wallet. PSP's One Talk Wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# today.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo and milk taste and added nutrients, Milo and milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, P&G and Mia. Prime P&G made.
Life is about making memories, sharing new adventures. Go beyond the familiar. Don't let bacteria hold you back from experiencing the world. Protex uses natural antibacterial protection with flaxseed oil and eliminates 99.9% of bacteria. Free yourself. Go beyond with Protex.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
For the very first time in Papua New Guinea, Mel Research and Marketing Consultants proudly launched the 5th issue of the Mel Review magazine commemorating PNG's 50th Golden Jubilee independence. 2 volumes, 500 pages each. Volume 1 covers government politics and leadership, while Volume 2 highlights the private sector, state-owned entities as service providers, and NGOs. Together, they cover the period from 1972 to 2025. This 1,000-page collection reflects PNG's 50 years and sets the foundation for the next 50.
If we don't get a bunch of gold, I could lose everything. This might be our last chance. This is the most dangerous place we've ever been.
Mayday, mayday, mayday! Gold Rush Whitewater, tonight 8:30 on Discovery.
Thanks for staying with us. The Fiji Peace Festival 2025 brought communities together in Suva to celebrate peace through cultural identity and education. Held under the theme Heritage for Peace and Unity, the event introduced the Itauke Peace Education Project, a new initiative that integrates Fiji's traditional values and language into peace education. Hosted by the international peace NGO Heavenly Culture, World Peace, Restoration of Light, the festival gathered civic leaders, educators, youth and women's organizations to promote unity and cooperation. Speakers highlighted the importance of cultural heritage in building lasting peace. Bimal Deo, coordinator of HWPL Fiji, said peace begins when people respect their heritage and act together. Youth and women's representatives also called for greater participation in peace-building efforts. The event ended with a call for continued collaboration through community education and dialogue under the Hope in Fiji initiative, Heritage Outreach for Peace and Empowerment. The gold price suffered its biggest fall in more than a decade, while profit takers moved in rare earth miners.
The gold price had fallen more than 6% at one stage, which was the biggest fall since 2013. But it came back a bit and is now down a bit less than 5%. Silver fell 7.9% and platinum 6.1%. The falls today are hardly surprising. Yesterday, the gold price had increased $1,000 or 30% in 2 months, at the same time as the global share index had increased 8%. So that tells you gold is not being seen as a safer alternative to shares, which is the usual motive for buying it. The people queuing up outside the bullion shop aren't panicking about an uncertain world. They're speculating, hoping to sell it to someone else quite soon for more than they paid. But the only buyers not doing that are global central banks. They're buying it to replace US Treasuries, aka government IOUs, in their international reserves. They started doing that when Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022 and the US froze Russia's US dollar assets, which made a lot of other countries worry about their own dollar reserves. So now central banks hold more gold than American paper for the first time since 1996. On the share market, it was a day for getting out of gold stocks and taking profits on rare earths. Best gain was Woodside after it upgraded its oil and gas production forecasts. On the subject of rare earths, here's a follow-up graph showing global shares of known reserves. We're fourth, with about 1/8 of China's, although that's just what's known. There are apparently 89 groups of geologists now scouring the country looking for more. If one turns up in your backyard, offer them a cup of tea. And the Aussie dollar is still 65 US cents. And that's finance.
Regional communities are hoping to cash in on some of the opportunities on offer from the $13 billion Critical Minerals Fund. It's anticipated they'll bring jobs and revitalize aging towns, but green groups are concerned about the environmental impacts of processing onshore.
Mining community in WA is hoping to play a big role in helping bolster the national security of Australia and the United States. It's one of the first to benefit from the multi-billion-dollar critical minerals deal.
I think it's a win-win. It's creating more economic development and more jobs.
Critical minerals are central to our modern way of life, crucial for everything from smartphones to sophisticated weapons systems. Alcoa's funding will help develop a refinery near here, processing the bauxite that's already being mined and extracting the critical mineral gallium. It's hoped the deal will help loosen China's stranglehold on critical minerals processing.
99% of the world's gallium is currently made in China. This project will serve approximately 10% of the global market.
7 Australian mineral producers have received letters of interest worth $2.2 billion from the United States Export-Import Bank. The government-run financier says it will help boost US defence and industrial manufacturing.
In 35 years of being in the resource sector, I have never seen this level of alignment and cooperation at the highest levels of two government.
Here in Waroona, existing mining operations have triggered local backlash over water safety concerns, impacts to at-risk species and issues with forest rehabilitation. Environmental experts are worried about broader ecological damages, not just here, but at processing sites across the country.
This is profound in terms of where will they store the waste materials. Remember, this is only a fraction of 1% of a piece of the material that they will get it from, but it represents a significant issue.
Environmentalists and some locals hope their concerns won't be brushed aside in the national interest.
U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said the U.S. military has killed 5 people in strikes against 2 vessels in the Eastern Pacific Ocean. Mr. Hegseth said the military attacked a vessel in the Eastern Pacific Ocean on Tuesday and killed 2 men. It was the first known U.S. military operation in the Pacific since President Donald Trump kicked off a new offensive against the drug trade. Mr. Hegseth said the military then struck another vessel in the Eastern Pacific on Wednesday, killing 3 men. The attacks came on top of at least 7 previous U.S. strikes that began last month, targeting vessels in the Caribbean Sea, and brought the death toll to at least 37. Trump administration officials have claimed without evidence that the boats are carrying illicit drugs bound for the United States. 2 people have died after being pulled from the water off Frankston Beach as Victoria was battered by a severe spring storm, with strong winds causing widespread damage across the state.
Wind so strong it brought this tram to a standstill after blowing over a massive tree. A narrow escape for the driver of this car outside Cabrini Hospital in Malvern.
I was driving, just passing the tram at a red light, and I heard a bang at the back seat. I stopped and I saw like a tree branch had come through the back window of the car, or the back little glass bit of the car.
In Frankston, the police helicopter pulled swimmers to safety. In Geelong, thousands optimistically braved the conditions for Cup Day, but not for long. Racing was suspended after just 3 races, as punters were evacuated from marquees.
It's terrible out there. We're right there on the wedding post and it was just blowing, we're blowing like this.
As the wind strengthened, it was called off for the day. Some took it in their stride.
I think we might just head to the pub. Barely a breeze.
Mere bit of breeze for the coastal dwellers.
Destructive winds of up to 100 kilometres per hour started in the state's west this morning, downing trees, before sweeping through central Victoria. In the state's northwest, dust created havoc for drivers. Late this afternoon, it hit Melbourne. Across the state, power went out for nearly 14,000 customers, nearly 9,000 concentrated around Whittlesea in Melbourne's outer north, with thousands more in Maryborough, Echuca, Shepparton and South Melbourne also impacted.
We certainly have seen some really strong winds and hazardous conditions across the state today. Our volunteers have been responding to over 600 requests for assistance today. Over half of those have been for tree-related jobs, whether that be trees down over roads, on properties or in public areas.
A homelessness centre in Adelaide says a growing demand for their services means they'll have to start turning people away within a few years. The centre's chief executive wants the South Australian government to increase social housing and consider other ways to ease homelessness.
When 75-year-old Phil became homeless about a year ago, the Hutt Street Centre helped him get a roof back over his head.
I got some housing reasonably quick and assisted there, but if it had gone on much longer I would have really been in strife.
Hutt Street's Wellbeing Centre offers a meal, a shower and connects people with other support services. It says there's been a 6% increase in demand this past year due to the cost of living crisis.
We're seeing young couples who, up until a month ago, were very comfortably living in a rented apartment, and then the cost of utilities, the cost of groceries, and the landlord turns up and says, well, I've got to up your rent by 30%.
Mr Burns says if demand for the service keeps growing at the current rate, they'll reach capacity in 2028 and have to start turning people away.
The challenge is there's not many other services for them to go to, so they will be left traumatised, and that's what concerns us.
The centre wants to see more social housing allocated and for the state government to incentivise landowners to make privately held vacant properties available for accommodation. The state government says they've invested tens of millions of dollars in homelessness services and are building a range of housing options.
We've got a big pipeline of housing, of all forms of housing, public housing, community housing, affordable sale, affordable rental, rent to buy and market housing.
More homes that can't come soon enough.
When we come back, Candace make into digital ExxonMobil 2026 season while Qatar's exit. These stories and more on the Pacific Championships when we come back for sports news. Stay tuned.
Start your day by doing the 1, 2, 3 with Colgate. Wake up. Brush your teeth. And smile. Smile throughout your day with Colgate.
2024, 7 pla baby i-born one time HIV. HIV ikan go long baby long triple rot. Time bel mama ikat HIV, long time long karen baby, na time baby isusu. Tasol yumi can help him bel mama long lookout him baby inside long bell. Go quick time long bell mama clinic na kisim antenatal check. Time yumi panim sick HIV area o time bell mama i positive penis. Early treatment ikan save him baby. Give him baby healthy start long life. Stop him spread long sick HIV igo long baby. This lutok sawe ikam long National AIDS Council Secretariat.
Enjoy life when we work together, making happy memories that last forever. Harem talk young or old, a scale rice family meal with talk to bring out the smiles, cause it's a favorite by miles. Seni sigola scale rice, low scale price. Seni sigola scale rice, low scale price. But you like him?
Dare to be different, drive with passion. Looking for a ride that's unique, classy, or high performance, whether it's for work, family, or luxury, Freeway Motors has you covered. And this month, don't miss our crazy sales. Unbeatable deals on top quality vehicles tailored to your budget. Hurry in and unleash the extraordinary. Drive with style before these deals are gone. Freeway Motors, driven by innovation.
Meet YumiPay, your digital wallet from TISA Bank. Your gateway to seamless transactions. Withdraw cash anytime at your nearest TISA agent. Send money to family and friends anytime, anywhere. Top up and pay with just a scan. From taxis to coffee and small businesses, YumiPay makes every payment simple. YumiPay, powered by TISA Bank.
One-on-one with Davidson. Davidson gets back there first. Good thing she did. Did she touch it? Oh, the most unlikely of goals.
Kicks it high and deep. Oh, what a gather from Beatenweg Webster. GBW with a ripper. Turboy to McCormick, who is a thumping kick. It's going to go right to the line. Has it gone all the way? Cambridge McCormick with her first ever AFLW goal to cracker.
Oh, that sounded good. Fielders can only watch that. Beautiful innovated shot. That is a lovely shot.
Up it goes. This time it's taken.
Welcome back. The Papua New Guinea National Rugby League competition has announced a new franchise as part of the upcoming 2026 12-team competition, marking a significant step for rugby league in PNG. When making the official announcement today, PNG NRLC Board Chairman Adrian Chow officially welcomed Kandes Rugby Football League Club, who will be based out of Medang Province. The inclusion of the Kandes follows the decision to not reissue the Kimbe Cutters a license for participation for non-compliance.
Kandes Rugby Football Club is the newest addition to the PNG National Rugby League competition. The inclusion of the Kandes reflects PNG NRL's commitment to expanding the reach of rugby league across the country. The inclusion reflective of the continued drive to enhance the national pathways, providing fresh opportunities and grow the game, but with strict adherence to compliance requirements. The inclusion of Kandes follows the decision not to reissue the Kimbe Cutters a license for participation in the competition for the 2026 season. PNG NRLC Chairman Adrian Chow acknowledges the Cutters' contribution to the competition over the previous years and remains committed to working closely with the club to support their potential return to the competition once the required entry criteria have been met.
So I'm very proud to announce today that the board has approved and will be welcoming a new franchise, the Kandes Rugby League Football Club. This club will be based and play out from Madang province. So the inclusion of the Kandays highlights our commitment to expanding the reach of rugby league across the country. Their inclusion reflects our continued drive to enhance the national pathway system, providing fresh opportunities to grow the game, but with strict adherence to the compliance requirements. The inclusion of the Kandays follows the decision to not reissue the Kimby Cutters a licence for participation in the 2026 season. So the Cutters have been part of our competition since 2019. So I want to acknowledge the Cutters' contribution to the competition over the last 7 years.
Chairman further stressed that while undergoing the end-of-the-season annual review process, it was noted that Qatar's RFL did not meet all the set conditions of the annual license, and the management recommended to the board concerns on the club's license. The board then approved the recommendation not to renew the license. Explaining the process, PNG RFL General Manager of Pathways and Participation, Tony Archer, stated that all clubs are issued licenses to compete in the competition. All clubs participate in a thorough assessment of their ability to meet a set of criteria that ensure they're moving towards professionalism.
The application process has been a long and thorough process for the new club to enter into the competition, as was the process around the inclusion of the clubs for next year. This is a really important and step forward for the game. We'll continue to work with all clubs, including Kimbe, to have an opportunity to re-enter the national competition. But currently they are unable to meet the criteria which is required.
The addition of the Cadres and the ongoing support for the Kimbe Cadres highlight the league's dedication to fostering new talent, strengthening community ties, and ensuring a competitive and inclusive environment for all participants. The 2026 season promises to deliver exciting action and showcase the best of PNG Rugby League. Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
Kumul's coach Jason Demetrio has expressed enthusiasm about the potential within his current squad, particularly with the influx of emerging young talent. As he announced the official team for their upcoming match against the Cook Islands Aitu this Saturday, he highlighted the importance of rising stars like Gairo Voro, Moria Moria, Finlay Glare and Cooper Bai.
Kumul's coach Jason Demetrio aims to provide emerging talent with valuable experience during the Pacific Championships as part of their preparation for the 2026 Rugby League World Cup. During the announcement of the official team for the match against Cook Islands Aitu this Saturday, he highlighted the importance of rising stars like Gairo Voro, Moria Moria, Finlay Glare and Cooper Bai. He said he would like to use this year's Pac Champs as a building block for the boys to continue their upward trajectory in their careers.
Lammy will play more on the ball, and he'll have Gairo on one side and Morea on the other, and they'll swing and play together as well. So I think what they bring is what excites me is they bring genuine speed, and speed's a big thing in the game at the moment, and Gairo and Morea bring it, and they bring it in abundance. So Lammy understands that, and he understands how to unlock that. I think if you think back to last year when Morea came on as the 18th man, I think he had one touch off Lammy, and he just put him into space, and he did the rest. So, Lammy's that experience. He knows how to get these guys the ball in the right areas. And like I said, for me, it's about those guys building and learning and getting better throughout this campaign and getting excited about the World Cup next year.
Reflecting on last year's strong performance by the Cook Islands against PNG, Demetrio reminded his players to avoid complacency. He emphasized the importance of starting strong and maintaining consistency throughout the match, ensuring that the young talent can contribute effectively to the team's overall performance.
I think we were down in the first 25-30 minutes against the Cooks last time, and we were in a real grind, and it wasn't until late in the game where we were able to get away and put some points on. But for us, it doesn't matter who we're playing. This is our first hit out in front of our home crowd. We've got looking like a sellout again. We need to go out there and represent those people, and we do that with our effort areas. I want to see an improvement in our kick chase. I want to see an improvement in our defensive decisions. And we want to get the crowd excited about the footy we play.
Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
Kumul's co-captain Rhys Martin is excited to return home to represent Papua New Guinea once again. This comes at the back of a memorable season in the UK Super League, where he made history by becoming only the second Papua New Guinean to win a Super League title. Joining him in the Kumul's camp are teammates Edwin Ipape and Lachlan Lamb, who have also concluded their Super League finals.
Returning to the tropics, Martin expressed his joy in being back amid the warmth and sunshine of Port Moresby, as well as reconnecting with the local supporters. He shared his delight during a recent visit to the Gordon's Market, where fans came out in large numbers to greet them.
It's nice to be back in the hot weather and the sunshine and the people. We got a nice experience yesterday at the markets, where everyone come out from everywhere to see us, and it's just I'm loving being back in the country, and looking forward to Saturday.
Reflecting on his monumental achievement in the Super League Grand Final, Martin described the emotions he experienced after the victory. He noted how surreal it felt to win and return to the dressing room, acknowledging the sacrifices he made during his 6 years in England away from his family. For him, the championship win made all the hard work and dedication worthwhile.
It was an unreal feeling. I think after we won it and then went inside and sat in the dressing rooms, it was a pretty surreal moment. I think for me, it just ticked all the boxes, all the sacrifices you make as a player. Moved away from my family for 6 years. I've been over in England, and winning that kind of makes it all worthwhile.
As a senior member in the national team, Martin is eager to guide the younger players in the squad as they prepare for their upcoming match. He expressed confidence in the strength of the squad, highlighting that it is one of the most robust lineups they have had in years.
The squad that we do have in camp, it's probably one of the strongest squads that we've had for a number of years, and I think one thing that keeps happening is that we keep getting stronger every tournament that we get to play, and some of the experience that the players are getting now. There's a lot of guys over in Super League, a lot of guys playing NRL now. Young Cooper's just come into the NRL, so the team is only going to get better and stronger, and I think.
He also praised initiatives by the Papua New Guinea Rugby Football League and the PNG National Rugby League competition for their efforts in developing player academies and programs which are vital for the growth of rugby league in PNG. With this solid foundation in place, Martin feels positive about the future of the sport in the country. Susan Oreape, TV1 Sports.
Across the region, lunch with the King of Tonga and quality time spent with his subjects have Jason Taumalolo primed to deliver a block-busting display against Samoa. The Tongan co-captain and his team spent 5 days in Tonga before flying to Brisbane to prepare for the Pacific Cup clash with the Samoans at Lang Park on Sunday. A highlight was lunch at the royal residence with the King Tupou VI. Taumalolo was feted as a national hero on the trip, with team management struggling to get him from one venue to the next because of his popularity. The 32-year-old played just 10 games for the Cowboys in 2025 in what was an injury-riddled year. After a post-season knee clean-out, Tonga's spiritual leader is primed for a massive match. Back home, Netball Australia, in collaboration with Netball Papua New Guinea, will soon start rolling out the Team Up One Netball program across the country. To kickstart the program as a capacity building for communities in the country, Netball Australia completed a coaching program for 16 coaches and leaders in various communities in Port Moresby today after 3 days workshopping.
Netball can only get to greater heights, and it starts at a younger age. With the support of the Australian government, Netball Australia is in the country to implement and develop the Team Up One Netball program in PNG. Team Up is the Australian government's Sport for Development program in the Asia Pacific. in close collaboration with Netball PNG from the 21st of October to the 23rd. 16 team-up coaches from Netball PNG attended the trainer workshops to understand how the new TVWAN netball program will look for their community and how they can integrate these into their netball sessions. Team-up manager from Netball Australia, Brooke Connolly, facilitated the 3-day program.
Over the last 3 days, we've been working with the Netball PNG coaches to help them understand our new content. We're doing lots of fun out on the netball court, lots of fun in a classroom situation to help our coaches learn the new content so that they can go into schools in PNG and do some delivery to find our next netball superstars, but to also help with leadership and empowerment for women and girls.
The program focused on training local coaches and officials, improving grassroots netball competitions, and creating supportive spaces for players of all backgrounds. The program aims to generate positive change in communities by using netball as a vehicle to support inclusive participation outcomes in PNG.
So Team Up is a DFED-funded program. We are funding programs in Asia and the Pacific and in Papua New Guinea, which I'm responsible for. We support 9 programs, 9 sports. So one netball program in PNG is one of those sports. And then this, the training that they're currently going through is to trial or test out the new program that they want to roll out in their schools and communities. So our partnership is about more about sports for development. So seeing how the sport can be used to advocate or promote important messages around, developing a young child to become a better person, talking about messages around inclusion, leadership.
Sports Development Coordinator for Netball PNG, Corey Toa Navuru, believes the program will be of great help to netball facilitators at the grassroots level.
We've got plans already. We've got a 12 months pilot project work plan in place. So we're going to start with the community delivery with children, and then we go into schools to deliver the adolescent curriculum over 9 weeks.
Rigo Netball Association representative Maria Guria expressed her gratitude for being part of the program.
As a local coach coming from the village settings, this program is very helpful in helping us broaden our mind on how best and how appropriate to bring the message across to little ones back in the village, and to be more creative and adding new ideas to what we already know.
Netball PNG hopes to see more Papua New Guineans playing netball in more places and more often. Through this redesigned program, it will incorporate sport for development by building confidence in children, supporting education, and promoting positive values. Susan Oreape, TV1 Sports.
Netball PNG Chairwoman Ulato Ave welcomed the partnership in netball, saying it represents a vital step in developing this sport and providing new opportunities for young athletes throughout the Papua New Guinea. She believes the development of the TVWAN netball program and the collaboration between netball federations in PNG is the way forward to further develop the sport.
And I thank the Australian government through DFED and Netball Australia for organizing this capacity building program to upgrade their skills and knowledge in terms of netball coaching, netball umpiring back in the community. It's very important because we have young women.
The International Olympic Committee has urged international sports federations to not host events in Indonesia after the country banned Israeli gymnasts from a competition there. The athletes had planned to compete at the World Artistic Gymnastics Championships taking place in Jakarta this week. But Indonesia, the world's largest Muslim-majority country, said last week it would not grant visas to the team because of the Israelis' military offensive in Gaza. The IOC condemned the decision on Wednesday, said it was cutting off discussions about any potential Olympic Games bids by Indonesia. Jakarta has expressed an interest in hosting the 2036 Summer Olympics. The IOC said it would not reverse its stance until the Indonesian government provided assurances that all athletes, irrespective of nationality, would be eligible to compete there. And that's all we have for sports. Now let's take a look at the weather. Southern region, Port Moresby and Alotau mostly fine, partly cloudy. Daru partly cloudy. Momase, all Momase centers cloudy periods with some rain showers and possible thunderstorms. New Guinea Islands, Lorengau, Kokopo and Rabaul, Kimbe and Buka cloudy periods with rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Kavieng, partly cloudy with possible few showers. And Highlands region, all Highlands centers cloudy periods with some rain and possible thunderstorms. Oceans forecast, Coral Sea, sea slight with southeast to easterly winds of 10 to 15 knots. Solomon Sea, sea slight with southeast to northeast winds of 5 to 15 knots. Bismarck Sea, sea slight with southeast to easterly winds of 5 to 15 knots. Pacific Ocean, sea slight to moderate with northeast to easterly winds of 10 to 20 knots. And coastal waters, waters of southern PNG and Indonesian border to Daru, to Kiwai Island, to Kerma, to Yule Island, to Hood Point, to Samarai Island, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. Waters of Samarai Island to Cape Vogel and all Milne Bay Islands, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters. And that ends another edition of TV1 News. Thanks for your company. Good night.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by
Woi, semakin bapak se Arya.
Anti, bangka goksim.